20. All right, so the resistance pattern is war, constant internal and external conflict, and rigid-mindedness. So the overarching theme of the 20 is war to peace. In the resistance pattern, it's constant conflict, inside and out. And actually, the internal conflict of the self is what draws the person to external conflict. So the key here is actually coming into peace and learning which battles are worth fighting for and which ones aren't. And finding the inner peace there. Because there are times where there may need to be a battle. And the genius talent of the 20 is knowing when that time is and when that time isn't. And in the resistance pattern, another key part of the conflict is being very rigid-minded and very combative, which creates, naturally, conflict. So in the genius talent, it's being flexible with the thinking, being open to new ideas and trying them on and seeing how they fit. And it's a very exploration type energy as well. A lot of movement, a lot of travel. So a few of the keynotes in the manual about this is about experiencing intense internal conflict, as if a war has broken out inside a person. This can be extremely intense emotionally, huge ups and downs can be experienced, and will manifest externally as either the physical experience of going to war or the metaphorical war with another individual who really gets under your skin. And this can last a lifetime until one eventually learns that it's not worth it and stops engaging in the conflict. And this comes about when an individual feels sufficiently good enough about themselves, therefore creating inner peace, which is then reflected into the outer reality and creates an absence of conflict, aka peace. This lesson really is about recognizing that we all have a choice to either engage in conflict or not. So, to see how this theme is showing up for you, take a look and take inventory. Where are the current battles that you have? Maybe some of them have been going on for a while. And this is about recognizing where perhaps maybe you're rigid-minded, not wanting to budge. And again, I really want to emphasize that there are definitely times to take a strong stand. There are definitely times to hold the line, absolutely. And this is about you finding your optimal way of what that is for you. And over time, finding your own feeling of what's worth it and what's not. And as it says in the manual, come to that feeling for yourself that creates flexible thinking. Because oftentimes when people are engaged in a landlock, essentially, of their beliefs, it's because one side, oftentimes feels like if they give up their belief, then they're giving up their identity. If they're giving up their belief, then it's admitting that they were wrong. And it's a very tough existence to be because it's very rigid. So the flexible thinking is so connected to their inner self and their inner sense of worth that it creates inner security and allows them to think flexibly, change their thoughts, change their stances on things, whatever's suited. And it's like, what is this person really committed to? Are they really committed to just being right and protecting their identity, or are they committed to the truth in the situation? And that's where the genius talent of the 20 comes in, is they're committed to peace. And not from like a weak place of just letting the other side prove their point and walk all over them. No, it's finding the harmony of peace. And part of the harmony of peace is knowing when to stand your ground and when to try on the thoughts of the other side. And that's why it takes tremendous courage. And as that unlocks that genius talent, these people create peace wherever you go. It's very powerful, very powerful. It's very harmonious. And it becomes this exploration, inner exploration and external exploration. A lot of movement, a lot of travel. One of the keynotes is it's always moving, seeking new experiences. Very creative, flowing energies, versatile. And ultimately, as that flexibility unlocks, it creates the ability to transform very quickly. Because if we're able to let go and not hold on to the ways that we want to be right, then we can grow and we can change, we can transform very rapidly. And that's a hidden power of this genius talent. And as a person does that for themselves, then it's almost like you can imagine them going on this exploration, traveling to new places, and helping others do the same. Loosen their rigid thinking, expand their minds to more flexible thinking, and ultimately find peace. Because there's so many battles in the world, literally, of course we know, and metaphorically. And this talent is harmonizing, bringing peace, and allowing people to transform their minds out beyond the landlocked back and forth ideals that they were in. So as you bring into this business, as you bring this energy into your business, perhaps take a look at it from new eyes of, okay, and this genius talent, it's the ability to help people loosen up and expand their thinking, become more flexible with their thinking. Consider new ways, consider new ideas, consider new stances. All of it's incredibly powerful, and it's a great harmonizer for helping people work together. Different relationships work together. And so we'll close it off with that concept that ultimately the genius talent creates peace wherever it goes.